And ladies and gentlemen, Vintage Wings president and founder Michael Potter just taxiing in the Mark 16 Spitfire. An interesting view of the Spitfire. You can see that the radiators for that liquid-cooled Merlin engine are right behind the main gear. And that's why the aircraft can only be on the ground for a short time before it overheats. Now let's get Mike a midway. Mike. And a midway for Mike.
Le travail comme nous tous ici, fait avec des moyens économiques.
And there's Rick Volker landing the Mark 9 Spitfire. And the land coming up overhead, and then a high-speed pass by the aircraft parking. Dave Hewitt is bringing in the Hurricane. And you can see that Dave has got the aircraft down. You saw Dave flying earlier with the Canadian Harbour Aerobatic team. He flies the number 2 position. Rick Volker is just turning the spin around, and Dave Hewitt is just entering taxiway Alpha to go back to the parking area. One of only 2 Lancasters flying in the world today. Tribute to honor, command, and tribute to our veterans. Welcome to that aircraft on fire. Crosswind from the right side is picking up a little bit now.
Assistons maintenant à l'atterrissage du géant Lancaster avec ses 4 moteurs Merlin.
Easing the airplane down. Touching down on the main gear. A little bit of forward pressure on the control column, keeping the tail up. Keeping that tail up, pins the main wheels down. Gently letting that tail come down. And there it is, all 3 points. The aircraft on all 3 points down. Safely down. Of course, with tailwheel airplanes, they're not safely down until you're actually walking away from the airplane. You fly them right until the very end. You're always trying to keep the airplane straight. Tailwheel airplanes, the center of gravity is behind the main wheels, so it's just like a wheelbarrow that might try to get away from you. So you have to be very active in taxiing a tailwheel airplane. That's one of the major features of them. You want to be very active on the rudder to make sure that the aircraft stays straight, especially in an airplane like a Harley.
Comme Robert l'a précisé, les appareils comme le Lancaster avec le boost arrière sont interdits à manœuvrer par vent de travers comme aujourd'hui. Parce que lorsque les deux roues avant touchent le sol, l'avion a tendance à vouloir pivoter sur lui-même. Donc le pilote doit corriger avec les délais arrière pour s'assurer que l'avion continue.
As we're bringing in the anchor,
It doesn't utilize tail wheel steering like some of the airplanes do. Instead, if you're trying to do a turn, you'll use either differential power. For example, when the aircraft tries to turn to the right,
Let's look close up at people's heads, too.
Number 1 and number 2 engines, the 2 engines on the left wing, and advance the power on those, and maybe use a little bit of brake on the right wheel. And that's how you'll turn an airplane like that, because it's a caster tail wheel.
Comme il s'agit d'une roue qu'on appelle folle à l'arrière, il n'est pas possible d'orienter cette roue. Donc, pour pivoter vers la gauche ou vers la droite, le pilote doit utiliser les roteurs, c'est-à-dire donner plus de puissance d'un côté ou de l'autre, de façon à pouvoir faire pivoter l'appareil.
Something also interesting about the Lancaster and all the British fighters is that they don't use hydraulic brakes. They use brakes that are powered by air, which comes off the engine.
L'équipage du Lancaster, John Scofield et